with news on returns to AEW and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Reviewing the origins of the mommy catchphrase, Smackdown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley told The Ringer, "First, I had that #1 contender match, that Fatal 4-Way, and I kneed myself in the face. So I pushed my tooth back and rocked myself a little bit. I knew that I had a few weeks off. I was like, I know I'm coming back soon. I got told that I was coming back when it was Ray's anniversary. So me being the little menace that I am, I was like, you know what? I ordered an Eddie Guerrero shirt, the one that said I'm your poppy. And I was like, I'm just gonna wear it and see what happens. I wore it in the internet exploded. People went wild. They started calling me Poppy and all of that fun stuff. I sort of just kept running with it. Eventually I was like, yo, we should make some more shirts. But they were like, maybe we'll change it in Mommy. So that's where Mommy came from. But that was the start of this whole wild ride with Dominic and the Mysterio family with the Judgment Day sort of thing. Speaking to What Culture, Jungle Boy Jack Perry talked about his preparations for making AEW appearances, saying, "Now I still get nervous. I throw up in a trash can most weeks before I go out, but in a way, most of the jitters are gone. I know I can hang with these guys. I can do what I need to do. And now that part's out of the way, I feel more confident in what I'm doing. Just trying to improve a little bit each time. You know, it's all you can ask for." Talking about what takes place prior to her stepping into the ring, Liv Morgan told Billboard, "I'm so chaotic before I wrestle. I'm pacing back and forth. I'm like nowhere to be found. Raquel is usually trying to find me. I'm somewhere lost in the shuffle and very much in my head. I have to be super laser focused and overthink everything I'm about to do." Previously, Ryan Satin noted this about a talk he had with Charlotte as he said, "You know, another thing, a recent conversation I had about women's wrestling, Charlotte Flair, when I spoke to her during WrestleMania weekend before her match. She told me about the frustration she had with it still not being a guarantee that the women are going to main event one of the nights. Trish Stratus has now responded telling out of character, see, that's like where we start to differ. Okay, so we have this thing like there has to be a woman's match, but I always look at it like I don't want you to look at it as a woman's match. I want you to look at it as like this storyline should culminate to this match, to this WrestleMania moment. I feel like a lot of it is all about our stories and our characters and taking our fans on a journey to get them to a certain point. So I don't think it depends on like, let's make sure we get the token woman's match. I don't want to be the token women's match. I want it to be viewed as like, I want my match regardless of our gender to be the match because of the storyline, because of the characters, because of the interest, and because of what the fans want. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is the best example because you know their friendship, you know what they do, and some people don't know, but now we know they've had a 20-year history, but it hasn't been on TV, not on WWE TV necessarily, but we know that they're this because of that history. That's true and it's real. It's been there for 2 decades. While his part in the Bloodline story made for great television, Sami Zayn hinted that this tale has come to an end, telling Inside the Ropes it would be very hard to recreate. "I'm done more or less, and I'm glad I got to do it." There's not much more to say than that other than I hope everybody enjoyed it and remembers it fondly. When asked about making a return to AEW in the future, Bobby Fish told House of Wrestling, "I don't know. I got my wife. I got my daughters. I got my dog. That's my everyday. Wrestling is literally, it's a job. I still love it. It's paying the bills and like, I'm just living my life and dare I say my best life. I got married in July. There's never an end to the work to be done on a home, so we're always putting that in. Those are weekend projects. I'm living my best life. Whether or not that circles back around, you know, time will tell." As WWE is set to merge with UFC under Endeavor, the company said this about their talks to reach an agreement from many buyers, as a recent SEC filing from WWE reads, beginning on January 17, 2023 and continuing until April 2, 2023, when WWE executed the transaction agreement, WWE's financial advisors acting on its behalf contacted and were contacted by over 60 potential counterparties, including strategic companies, financial sponsors, family offices, and sovereign wealth funds. Between February 6th and March 21st, 2023, WWE entered into confidentiality agreements with 20 potential counterparties. All but one of the confidentiality agreements entered into by WWE in connection with this process included a standstill provision for the benefit of WWE, with a customary exclusion permitting parties to make proposals to WWE privately and confidentially, and each of the standstill provisions had a duration of at least 12 months. All confidentiality agreements entered into with standstill provisions included the customary exclusion for private proposals and a fall-away provision that would allow the counterparty to make a proposal to acquire WWE in the event WWE entered into a definite sale agreement. Each potential counterparty that had indicated interest in exploring a strategic transaction with WWE was provided an opportunity to enter into a confidentiality agreement with WWE. In an announcement from AEW yesterday, it was said that Hangman Page is likely returning for a match. As the company wrote, prior to being injured by the BCC, Hangman Page had signed a contract for a match versus Big Bill in Salem, Virginia. Bill has refused to postpone the match. Will Hangman Page show up in Salem? With it rumored that Warner Bros. Discovery and AEW are set to announce a new television deal, former WCW President Eric Bischoff noted on his Strictly Business podcast, "Here's what I do know. I know it's a really great thing. I know Tony Khan should be proud. The entire team at AEW should be grateful and proud. And the roster, anybody that's on that list, on the team should be grateful and proud and enjoy the moment, the opportunity that it provides. What matters is AEW's got a strong, firm, long-term foothold with a leading cable outlet, and that provides nothing but opportunity. So congratulations to Tony and the team and the roster, because at the end of the day, it's all about who tunes in to see who. That's all about the talent. I don't think it does anything for the industry. I don't have the perspective that you do. I think AEW is in the position it's in, and it's benefiting from the health of the industry as opposed to creating health in the industry. Certainly, without question, this is good for the talent. It's excellent for the talent. It's great for fans because they have something else to watch. It's certainly good for the AEW organization. There's no question about that. I'm not denying that. But to suggest more broadly that it affects the global business in a beneficial way, I don't think it's changing globally. I think AEW is taking advantage of the global business. It's a new company. I wouldn't expect a new company to have the infrastructure and the sophisticated staff and operations of a WWE, for example. This company's 4 years old. It's still going through growing pains. Clearly, we've seen it a lot in the last 12 months in every way, shape, and form. It manifests behind the scenes, on camera, wherever. They're going through growing pains. To be expected. It would be bizarre if that wasn't the case, but while they're going through these growing pains, to dump yet another show on a Saturday night no less, when at least common sense suggests that there's not a lot of 18 to 49 year ones hanging out and watching TV on a Saturday night, particularly on the 18 to 35 spectrum of that demo, is going to be a challenge. But in the meantime, what a vote of confidence. Back up the Brinks truck. Let's have some champagne and let's embrace the opportunity, but let's also know that it's going to come at a cost. Speaking of rumors, CM Punk is thought to be making his return to AEW to be a part of the company's new Saturday show, as he can be seen working out in a new video. During an interview with Maggie and Perloff, AEW President Tony Khan was asked about rumors of CM Punk returning to AEW, to which he said, "I can't comment on that, but I do think it's very exciting. He's running a lot of big events. Chicago has been one of the best cities for AEW for a long time, and I'm very excited to be back there. It's a home city to me personally, growing up in Illinois and spending most of my life there until my dad got involved in the NFL. It'll be great to be back in Chicago for AEW." When asked about the lessons he learned from the Backstage brawl falling all out, Khan said, "I can't really comment. I haven't talked about that that particular situation since it happened specifically. In the time since, AEW has continued to hit new heights and grow, and I have a lot of respect for all the people you just said as professional wrestlers, and we have a great company going right now. With a big announcement coming next week, we've been able to sustain and continue to develop as a wrestling company. Following Smackdown, a match would take place between Bianca Belair and Io Sky. Here's the clip. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.